Hey guys, it's Crazy from Rainforest Chica, and today I played with some of my butters and oils at home this morning before I went to the office, and I'm here tonight to show it to you. I played with Ucuuba. Ucuuba is my hardest butter. The melting point of Okuba is 53 degrees Celsius, about 127 Fahrenheit. So it's a very hard butter. It can even be used as a hardening agent in balms and other products. It's not as hard as like most of waxes, but it's still. Like more and more people are like getting to know Okuba and fall in love with Okuba, and they ask me if they can whip just Okuba. No, you can't. You can't just melt Okuba and whip it. It's gonna become hard again, even whipped. So today I tried to figure out how much oil I have to, because I usually use Ucuuba in blends, like it's a smaller part of like a butter blend, butter oil blend. But today I was like, okay, if I wanna whip only Ucuuba, how much oil do I have to put? And I chose Brazil nut. That's like a very it's a very easy oil to work with. The smell is like good, and it just works for hair and skin. It's a light oil. And I decided to go for 4 ounces of Ucuuba to 2 ounces of Brazil nut. And it worked really well. Okay, check it out. It still has a little bit of the drag, like how like products with beeswax or wax have like a little, but it feels really good. And Ucuuba has a lot of use for hair, scalp, like health. If it's summer and I'm in Florida, and so it's warmer, I would probably use more oil in winter time. I think you can even do like 4 ounce of Ucuuba for 3 ounce of an oil. I like the result. I'm gonna be using it mostly for my skin, and actually with the rest of it, because I made like more, I'm gonna like put in like a little tiny tin cans, and I'm gonna add to my free gifts with purchase. So keep an eye out. I'm gonna send an email later today. But since I was on a row, and I decided to play with easy recipes, like just 2 ingredients and like different whipped butters. Okay. So let's start with the Patawa. I started with Murumuru and Patawa. Murumuru is a butter they call it the vegetable silicone. It creates like a protective layer around like on your skin and hair. So that's why it's a great like butter for a leave-in, or like for your hair, like to protect, to make your curls look great, to protect to make your flyaways behave. It's a butter that's not very greasy. And I mixed this one with patawa. Maybe you cannot see on your screen, but it has a little bit of like a green hue of the patawa. Patawa is an oil that's mostly used for hair. So I figured that this butter would be a great butter for like a leave-in butter. I did, because like I said again, since it's summertime and you have to be more, and you have to make harder butters, I used 4 ounces of murumuru and just half an ounce of patawa. You can bump it up to like 1 ounce, but it will be soft. So if you live like in a cold place, that would be like a great way to do it. So this one is Murumuru and Patawa, and I recommend it for hair, but of course you can use anywhere you want. And then I kept playing. Oh my gosh, yes, I kept playing with my Murumuru. And this one is Murumuru and Tucuman oil. Tucuman oil and my buriti oil, and most oils that are very red, but not just red. They have to be red, and they have to kind of stain your skin pretty much. They are very rich in beta carotene, which is very important for summer, for our summer skin. So I made this one for before and after, sun tanning or being out in the sun. But you also can use, of course, you can use to go out in the sun. It does not like work. It does not substitute your like your sunscreen or your sunblock. Be careful. Tan responsibly. You know, like I'm tanned. I love the sun, but you've got to be responsible. Since why did I use murumuru? Because since murumuru is a butter that acts like silicone and protects your skin, I figured that that would be a great mix with an oil that's very rich in beta carotene. Okay, guys, Murumuru and Tucumán butters have very similar properties, okay? If you like one better than the other, just go for it because they have very similar properties. Tucumán oil comes from the pulp of the fruit. Tucumán butter comes from seeds. So they're two different things, two different products. So this one was Murumuru and Tucumán oil, 4 ounce of Murumuru to half an ounce of Tucumán oil. Then I went and I started playing with my Kupasu. Kupasu, they call it, Kupasu is softer than Murumuru. So if you could add a little bit more oil to my Murumuru mixes, but not so much to the Kupasu. If you wanna make it like now, if you want it to look like a whipped butter. This one is Kupasu and Ojão. Ojão is like a great, became famous, right? In Brazil, it's called Acai. It's for hair care, like damaged hair, chemically treated hair. So why did I mix it with Kupasu and not Murumuru? I mix it with Kupasu because Kupasu we call like the vegetable lanolin. It attracts like no humidity, like moist into your skin and hair. It actually works 200 times better than lanolin. So it's like if you're gonna like treat, if you want something like, you know, if you wanna like, if your hair is like damaged and dry, this would be the treatment. And then you can use the murumuru with like with patawa, for example, as a leave-in after you did the treatment. That would protect, that this would treat, and that would protect. And then since I was already like playing with Kupasu, I mixed Kupasu with like my most beautifulest oil. That's the Acai oil. It's very green. It's a great anti-aging oil. Of course, and like in Brazil, in the Amazon, they use this oil for like everything. They think it cures whatever. Like I cannot say it because, you know, it's cosmetic use only. This Kupasu, I could probably have used a little bit more. But like I said, summertime, you've got to be careful. What I do for my oils, for my some products that I sell, and for myself, I usually mix Kupasu and Murumuru or Tucumán butter. I do 50-50, or if I want something that's more, that brings the water, and I do more Kupasu. If I want something that's like less greasy, Murumuru is a little bit less greasy, feels like, than Kupasu, then I use more Murumuru. But guys, I see a big mistake, you know, that it, like a lot of, again, if a lot of people think that just because you're using butter and oil, like you're gonna be greasy and it's gonna be annoying. It's gonna be, most people don't like that feeling. Most people use too much oil, too much butter, too much fat on their skins and hair, okay? If you, guys, basically, for your entire arm, you need just a little tiny bit, okay? This tiny bit will go your entire arm pretty much. And another thing, guys, my oils and my butters may perform miracles, but if you don't massage it, if you don't take, you know, if you don't just really make it get in there, if you just put like this, just go out and buy like a lotion, you know, like a over-the-counter, like pharmacy lotion. To use a good butter, not saying like no, any butter or oil, to use a good product, I'm saying fat-based product, just massage it. Love your body. Oh, I don't want to touch here because I just put on too. Forget it. Massage your body. Love your body. Andiroba butter, has like, there are many like research saying that Andiroba butter like can prevent cellulite. But do you think that's just like, you know, like going like No, you have to massage, have to get in there. So if you're gonna use how do I apply my butters or oils? It's usually after the shower. Usually like my body's a little damp. I massage and massage and massage. It's not every day that I have time. It's not every shower I have time, but I try to do it and I see a huge difference in my skin. Huge difference. And then I wrap like a sarong around my, my body, or I put like a little muumuu on until like all that like fat, just gets fully absorbed. That's not the only way. That's not the only way that I use butters. I use oils and butters and oil all day long. Sometimes I find something that I don't even know what it is around the house, and I was just like, oh, let me try it. So guys, all these butters that I showed to you guys, I did 4 ounces of the butter for half an ounce of like the oils, okay? Not the Ucuuba. The Ucuuba needed 2 ounces. I mean, half of 4 ounces. It was 4 ounces of Okuba and 2 ounces of Brazil nuts, so it was half. You've got to adjust your numbers for cold households. You've got to adjust your numbers for summertime and wintertime. If you're gonna send it out, most of these products is not something that you can just put in your purse and forget about it. So again, this one was Kupasu and Acai. I would call it like more like an anti-aging, like healthy skin. This one was, oh my gosh, Murumuru Tukumumba. It's like a summer skin care. This one was Murumuru Patawa. It's a light, nice leave-in for hair. This one was Kupasu and Ojão. That's more like, a treatment, more like a treatment butter. And my beautiful Ucuuba. Okuba is like totally saturated, has a very peculiar, very different fatty acid profile. If you gotta fall in love with it, if you're in love with it, you're gonna understand why this, just being able to do like only Okuba mostly Okuba whipped butter, it's genius. So guys, this is Chris with Rainforest Chica. My site's rainforestchica.com, and the best way to contact me is texting or WhatsApping me at 954-274-2032. Thank you for watching.